You think you're being polite. You think you're being respectful. You think people like you for it. But behind your back, some of those nice habits you've been praised for your whole life are quietly destroying how people see you. Not because people are cruel, but because the human brain doesn't just hear your words. It reads your behavior. And sometimes, what feels kind to you signals weakness to everyone else. Today, we're exposing 7 habits that look nice on the surface, but make you look weak underneath. Stay until the end, because number 7 is the one most people never even realize they're doing. This isn't about becoming cold. This isn't about being rude or aggressive. This is about understanding the psychology of perception and making sure the respect you think you're earning is the respect you're actually getting. Let's get into it. Habit number 1, always apologizing. The nice version. You bump into someone, sorry. You ask a question at work, sorry to bother you, but you share your opinion. Sorry, I might be wrong, but it feels humble. It feels considerate. The psychological reality. Every unnecessary apology is a subconscious admission of fault. It signals to the people around you that you believe, on some level, that your presence is an inconvenience. Psychologists call this preemptive submission. You apologize before anyone even has a problem with you, which tells people's brains, this person doesn't trust themselves. Strong people don't lead with apology. They lead with intention. The fix. Replace sorry to bother you with quick question. Replace sorry, I might be wrong with here's my take. Save apologies for when you've actually done something wrong. That's when they carry weight. Habit number 2, over-explaining your decisions. The nice version. Someone asks why you can't make it to the event, and you give a full paragraph. I would love to come, honestly, but I have this thing, and then my schedule is weird this week, and I really wish I could make it work, but You think you're being transparent and considerate of their feelings. The psychological reality. Over-explanation is a form of people-pleasing disguised as communication. It reveals that you feel the need to justify your own choices, which implies that you believe other people have authority over your decisions. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The more you explain, the less confident you sound. A single reason is credible. 5 reasons sounds like an excuse. The fix. I can't make it. Hope it goes well. That's it. That's the whole message. Confident people don't audition their choices for approval. Habit number 3, nodding and agreeing to keep the peace. The nice version. Someone says something you disagree with, but instead of pushing back, you nod along. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I can see that. You're keeping the atmosphere comfortable. You're being easy to get along with. The psychological reality. People are more perceptive than we give them credit for. They can feel when agreement is genuine versus when it's conflict avoidance. And when they sense the latter, something shifts. They don't feel respected. They feel managed. And they start to see you as someone without real opinions. A social chameleon who reflects back whatever keeps things smooth. That's not likable. That's forgettable. The fix. You don't have to fight, but you do have to be real. I actually see it a bit differently, I think. Disagreement, when calm and direct, doesn't push people away. It earns their respect. Habit number 4, always being available. The nice version. Someone texts you. You respond immediately. Someone needs a favor. You're there. Someone calls at a bad time. You pick up anyway. You're dependable. You're generous. You're there. The psychological reality. Here's a brutal paradox. The more available you are, the less valuable your time seems. Scarcity creates value, not just in economics, but in human psychology. When people know they can always access you instantly, your presence stops feeling like a privilege and starts feeling like a given. And things we take for granted, we stop appreciating them. The fix. Let some messages breathe. Finish what you're doing. Create natural gaps that communicate. My time has value. This isn't manipulation. It's self-respect with boundaries. Habit number 5, laughing at things that aren't funny. The nice version. Someone makes a joke. It's not funny. Maybe it's even at your expense, but you laugh anyway because you don't want to make it awkward. The psychological reality. Performative laughter is one of the most socially costly habits you can have, precisely because it's so automatic. When you laugh at things that aren't funny, you reward behavior that doesn't deserve a reward. You train people to underestimate you. You signal that your reactions are for sale, that your approval can be bought with the smallest social gesture. People with strong self-concept don't fake reactions. Their responses are calibrated, and that makes their genuine laughter something worth earning. The fix. A neutral expression is more powerful than a fake smile. Silence is more powerful than a forced laugh. Let your reactions mean something. Habit number 6, downplaying your own wins. The nice version. You do something impressive and someone compliments you. Oh, it was nothing really. I got lucky, anyone could have done it. You're being modest. You don't want to seem arrogant. The psychological reality. There's a fine but critical line between humility and self-erasure. Humility says, I'm grateful and still growing. Self-erasure says, please don't think too highly of me. I'm not worth it. When you compulsively minimize your achievements, you're not protecting people from your ego. You're teaching them to dismiss you. And over time, they will. The fix. Thank you. I worked hard on that. That's humble and grounded. Accept the credit. You earned it. Habit number 7. Asking for permission when you don't need to. The nice version. Is it okay if I? Would it be all right if I? Do you mind if I just? You're being respectful of other people's space and autonomy. The psychological reality. This one's subtle, and it's the reason I saved it for last. There's a time to ask permission when something genuinely affects another person. But many people ask permission by default, even for decisions that are entirely within their own authority. This habit programs the people around you to see themselves as your gatekeepers. Over time, you unconsciously hand them control that was never theirs to begin with. The brain sees leadership and permission-seeking as opposites. Leaders inform. They don't audition. The fix. Distinguish between courtesy and surrender. I'm going to step out for a bit versus, is it okay if I step out? One is considerate. The other is submission. Know the difference. None of these habits make you a bad person. Most of them come from a genuinely good place. A desire to be liked, to avoid conflict, to make people comfortable. But good intentions don't control how you're perceived. And perception shapes everything. Your relationships, your career, your confidence. The goal isn't to become cold, arrogant, or indifferent. The goal is to be genuinely kind, from a place of strength, not from fear, not from a desperate need to be accepted, because the most magnetic people in any room, they're not the ones who try hardest to be liked. They're the ones who are completely fine if they're not. That's the energy that commands respect. If this hit differently than you expected, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more psychology-backed content on confidence and social dynamics, subscribe. New video drops soon. See you there.